We all know that Elon Musk is on a mission to explore space, and yes, it sounds exactly like it means. The billionaire tech icon and SpaceX CEO has a dream to travel to Mars one day and make it habitable for humanity. To make this possible, Musk is outbesting himself with innovations in tech to make spacecraft missions and successful launches. Musk has added another record to the series of amazing actions he has taken to achieve his space dream. The world's richest man just launched a new insane SpaceX factory. Now, before you celebrate, you should know more about the details and why this means a step forward for Elon and SpaceX. Stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell icon to get new and updated information about Tesla, SpaceX, and of course, the mogul himself, Elon Musk. Welcome. Even without any known competition, SpaceX hasn't relented over the years and stays at the top of their game. The company keeps on with its mission to revolutionize space manufacturing, and it seems Elon is one step closer to sealing the deal. SpaceX has announced its partnership with Varda Space to launch the first space plant. Elon has planned to include Varda's space launch in a plan for the future that involves the digitalization of space. Elon has always been an advocate for sustainable living. He has made cars and tech that use electricity instead of fossil to help with climate change. The SpaceX CEO believes that moving industries to space will help end pollution on Earth and make human beings reap the benefit of a microgravity environment. He has made Varda Space a part of this dream. Space manufacturing has a unique advantage for the Earth. It would definitely reduce contamination. The complex tech involved will save companies a ton of money. However, there are concerns because production will expose people to a high level of radiation. It is also difficult to control and monitor systems and equipment in real time in an orbit. Varda's space industry and e-commerce aim to establish space factories that will make it possible to launch their first spacecraft aboard the Falcon 9 rocket in 2023. During its flight, the spacecraft will test space manufacturing tech for up to 3 months. Then, it is expected that the re-entry capsule will return to Earth within 40 to 60 kilograms of material collected in orbit. The first plant will only be able to produce a few hundred kilos of materials. To make a profitable means, the company has explained that it will only focus on high-value products that sell for high prices despite low mass. We are one step closer to delivering valuable materials to our clients here on Earth, said Will Brewery, CEO of Varda Space Industries. Some of the products that will be produced more efficiently in space are elements of chemical purity, such as perfect crystal structures, semiconductors, fiber optic cables, and pharmaceutical materials. Varda executives believe the partnership with SpaceX is definitely a profitable and beneficial way of achieving their mission. Price and reliability are equally reasonable factors for this partnership. According to Delayan Asparov, co-founder and president of Varda Space, the company chose SpaceX for their cost effectiveness and reliability. Space News further reported that the company has been opaque about the materials they will produce in space, but hinted that they may range from pharmaceuticals to optical fiber. Perhaps that is the reason they have chosen to use the least expensive solution. Varda is also looking forward to the experience of helping people benefit from microgravity manufacturing. One of the reasons that Varda decided to partner with SpaceX is because of his relationship with Elon Musk. Elon is a principal at the Founders Fund, which happens to invest both in Varda and SpaceX. The Torrents, a California-based startup, has been moving fast since its founding by SpaceX veteran Will Brewery and Founders Fund principal Delayan Asparov a little less than a year ago. 5 years ago, it would have been impossible to think of the existence of a company like Varda, but they have surprised the world with not only their establishment, but their growth and expansion. Delayan thinks people's lives will change radically because of the massive reduction in entry barriers. Varda is motivated by the desire to create unique products that are only possible in space and deliver them at an economic price. This is why they're using cheap launches and searching for a better regulatory environment and commoditized space hardware solution. This is where SpaceX comes into play. Billy, the co-founder of Varda, is looking forward to the experience of working with the richest man in the world. Now, let us consider the question that has brought together these two relationships. What can be produced on space that cannot be done on Earth? When it comes to microgravity, there are certain items that need to be manufactured in space to bring out the best material possible. Materials like bioprinted human organs, advanced fiber optics, semiconductors, protein crystals, stations, infrastructure, and other facilities. In addition, microgravity can only be found in space for a prolonged period. Varda has such ambition to begin space manufacturing. This ambition is very unlikely for a year-old company. Perhaps this is the reason why SpaceX has decided to partner with such ambitious and motivated personnel. Varda's mission is to construct the first space factory since it routinely hosts payload for paying customers. These experiments are averagely low volumes, which Varda plans to fix in its upcoming space projects. The products that will be manufactured in space will be returned to Earth by one of its companies, Dragon Spacecraft, which is the only spacecraft able to deliver such a huge amount of cargo from space to Earth, 10 years after its debut. A lot of companies have done orbital manufacturing in the past, so definitely Varda will not be the first to make that feasible. However, what is Varda doing differently? And maybe that's another reason why Elon has decided to partner with the company. Apparently, Varda is trying to build a pathway towards commercialization. Varda intends to develop its own small satellite with a miniature entry capsule capable of returning 200 kilograms or 220 pounds of resources to Earth. Manufacturing is the next step for commercialization in space, said Brewy. The primary drive that makes us economical is success in the launch business. Meanwhile, the Rocket Lab will build the actual spacecraft that will be used for the 2023 mission. Varda announced that it has bought 3 Rocket Lab crafts. They will act as motherships for each Varda re-entry capsule. They also plan to create a satellite bus that supports and powers onboard payload. Photon enables customers to concentrate their effort on developing payload and services they want, instead of having to develop and qualify satellites that they have to build and maintain on their own. Varda has decided to take advantage of that and introduce it to their customers. In fact, their partnership with Rocket Lab reveals that there is no clause that prohibits Photon customers from launching satellite buses on launch vehicles not built by Rocket Lab, which explains the SpaceX contract. While Varda is planning on being economical with their produce and distribution, there are other space companies that are similarly dedicated to using small satellites but with high rates. For example, Rocket Lab, an Electron launch with 440 pounds to the Sun. The synchronous orbit cost approximately $7.5 million. For the same customer, a rideshare slot on SpaceX will cost $1 million. Varda plans on designing a customized Photon that will allow a Falcon rideshare mission. In this case, customers will be able to carpool to space, making the cost cheaper as they have to share it among themselves. Varda does not require a specific orbit for its missions. It could launch for lower orbit destinations, which will make it very suitable for rideshare. As long as the orbital inclination is large enough to pass over Varda's landing site, then you have nothing to worry about. Varda is motivated by a self-disciplined and ambitious CEO who believes that the key to success is working harder. This reminds us of the type of charisma that Elon Musk has adopted into becoming the richest man in the world. And we believe that this motivation is working for Varda, as the company is slowly running to become one of the leading producers of high-value, extraordinary products like optical fibers and pharmaceuticals. We do not know exactly what Varda will produce in space. The company has kept mum about it. Delayan Asparov, co-founder and president, has refused to answer questions on the subjects. However, when he was asked when the company will announce his new contract with the customer concerning the first set of materials they will produce in space, he reveals that there is a 50-50 chance that the production will happen in 6 months. According to him, Varda is focused on developing the technology that it needs to manufacture spacecraft, giving it a competitive edge. However, for now, the primary challenge is developing a re-entry capsule that will allow the material to re-enter Earth. Varda believes that re-entering Earth is a lot more difficult than assembling hardware apparatus. They say hitting the atmosphere at Mach 28 is the hardest thing to do. Despite all the complex tech involved, a lot of companies are still interested in space manufacturing. Brewy believes that space manufacturing has great potential for making space work for humanity. but there are many barriers preventing it from occurring. The two most notable are the lack of a dedicated platform and no soft return. Without any tech in place to ensure a safe return, there is no visualization of the dream of space manufacturing. The company has found a way to use regolith as a feeder material. We cannot help but be excited on behalf of Elon Musk for the insane milestone he keeps on breaking. We expect an incredible development on the space manufacturing decision soon, and the future is definitely going to be so much better. We cannot wait for the wonders that SpaceX and Bardo will bring to us. Until next time, please don't forget to like and share your thoughts about this partnership.